The first thing you will need to do is gather the needed ingredients and equipment. Ingredients vary from one beer style to the next. For this batch, though, we'll need hops, malt extract, grains, drinking water. I generally filter my own, but for this video I purchased bottled water, a sink, a funnel, a long-handled spoon, a device for measuring average kinetic activity, such as a thermometer, a sanitizing agent, a 5-gallon carboy, a stopper and an airlock for the top of the carboy.
Are you ready?
Begin by smacking the packet of yeast that came with your kit. Do this the night before you plan to make your beer. Set it aside. The package will rise over the next several hours. The next day, pour approximately 1.5 gallons of water into a large cooking pot and set the pot on your stove. Pour the grain into a mesh bag. If you don't have a mesh bag, use one of your stockings, or one of your wife's, or one of your husband's. Set the thermometer into the pot. Whoa, look at that thing roll. Attach it to the side with a clip or twist tie. Once the water begins to boil, lower the temperature to temporarily stop the boiling and set the bag of grain into the pot, kind of like you're steeping a very big bag of tea. Attach the top of the bag to the side of the pot. Leave it in there for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, remove the grain. Warning, if you inadvertently dislodge the thermometer, your son might slide into a slight panic.
Look at that.
It's okay, it's not going to fall. It just fell.
You should fix it.
I will. Discard the grain and raise the heat on the stove once again. In the meantime, fill a small pot with some water and set it to boil as well. Pour in a tablespoon of the sanitizing agent and allow it to dissolve. Plug your sink and fill it with about a gallon of water. Toss in the equipment you'll need for later. Once the water comes to a boil, remove it from the heat source and add the malt. Some malt comes in liquid form, some in powder. Continually stir the mixture while adding the malt. If you find it too difficult or dangerous to stir while pouring, get a child to assist you. See, kids love anything with the potential for extreme messes. After pouring in all the malt, place the liquid, now called wort, back on the heat. By this time, your sanitizing agent has probably dissolved. Take it off the stove and pour it into the plugged sink.
I did it.
You did. You did a good job. That was perfect. Thank you. Allow your child to do some weird hand ritual over the sink. Once the wort begins boiling, set a timer for 1 hour and add the hops and other fermentables at the specified times. For example, this kit called for 2 packages of hops to be added as soon as the 1 hour countdown began. While waiting for the hour to pass, pour some sanitizing water into the carboy.
Yay, I did it!
You did it, great. Give it a few good spins and set it on its side, periodically turning it to ensure the inside is sanitized. Place the bag of yeast into the sink too. But don't forget about the pot. Keep an eye on it so that it doesn't overflow. Tell me that doesn't look appetizing. Also, don't forget to add the fermentables when prompted. After the hour, remove the pot from the stove and attempt to lower the temperature quickly. If you can get it down to 70 degrees Fahrenheit within 20 minutes, then you've done a good job. If there's a lot of snow on your deck, set the pot in the snow. Another option is to run a cold tube of water through the pot. A third option, seen here, is to place the pot in ice-cold water, shifting it from one side of the sink to the other. Watch that temperature drop. Once the wort is cool enough, pour it into the carboy using the funnel. Here you see I've already poured most of the other drinking water into the carboy, but this isn't necessary. You can do it afterwards if you want. Next, cut open the package of yeast. Call me crazy, but I love the smell of this stuff. Pour the yeast into the carboy and use some of the remaining water to clean off the sides of the funnel. Cap the carboy and place the airlock in the cap, adding about a tablespoon of water to trap the brew inside. Finally, cap the airlock. Place the carboy in a cool, dark area.
Why don't we ready for bubble for one time? So many days.
Within a day, your brew should begin to cause the water in the airlock to begin bubbling. This is a result of the fermentation. The bubbling will slow over the course of 1 to 2 weeks. Keep checking on it. Once it's going really slow, you may wish to gently agitate the carboy, thereby allowing the yeast to fully ferment. Towards the end, you may find yourself staring at the airlock for a long, long time, waiting for that precious bubble.
I'm ready to get a beer bottle.
Once the bubbling stops, it's time to bottle your beer. Gather your bottles and make sure they're clean. Have your kid load them into your dishwasher. Then it's time to play with the hot stove again. Add about 2/3 of a cup of priming sugar to a small pot of water and set it to boil. Pour the priming solution into a bottling bucket. Remove the cap from the carboy. Siphon the beer into the bucket.
Why are you putting that in the beer? To get the beer out? I didn't get the beer out. Because the beer is stuck in there?
Keep the siphon a couple of inches from the bottom of the carboy, as there may be some sludge at the bottom and most beer drinkers won't care to have that in their beverages. The siphoning is slower than pouring, but it's cleaner and it kicks up less particles. Here, the siphoning has been sped up 20 times its actual pace. See that sludge at the bottom? Told you so. Now you can fill your bottles. Whoa, not so fast there, son. Some bottles require crimping a cap onto them. This is tougher than you'd think it would be, and if you're not careful, might result in cracked bottles. Another option is to use bottles with built-in ceramic caps. They snap shut much easier, and you'll never have to run out to buy more caps.
Go. So is the beer ready?
Sorry, son, but it's not ready just yet. Store your bottles in a cool, dark place for at least 2 weeks. Print off some labels so your friends think you're all cool and whatnot.
I think that's enough.
Finally, enjoy. If you're a bit leery about tasting your own brew, give it to your friends first. It's amazing how many people are willing to consume free beer. Hey, wait! You didn't even drink any, did you? Alright, I guess it's safe.
Now we can use this same footage if you're ever doing a tutorial on how to make instant mashed potatoes.